Hey, how's it going, everyone? Saintsfan here, and in my final GTA video for 2015, I wanted to take a look back on this past year and just go over sort of everything that we got in GTA Online, going through the best and the worst times. And please, in the comment section, let me know your favorite moment and worst moment of GTA Online in 2015, because I definitely want to hear your guys' thoughts on that. Anyway, starting it all off in early January of this year, there's been so much, and I kind of forgot that all of this stuff actually happened this year. But the first big thing was about heists. In early January, we got a bunch of information about heists, including their release date. As well, unfortunately for us PC guys, we got the news that yet again, the PC version was delayed. For me, this was obviously mixed feelings, because on one hand, the heist information, that was awesome, because that was something we were all looking forward to. But then we were all, or at least for me, I was also looking forward to the PC, and having it being delayed again, that was really disappointing. And at least for me, this month was the first time that I got introduced to the snipers versus stunters. It might have, that game mode might have come out in 2014, in December or something. But in 2015, this was sort of the start of these really awesome and creative custom game modes that the community made. Now, moving into February, there wasn't much. For me personally, this was the start of my series, The Top 5 Deaths, which has been going on for a really long time now, and I'm glad you guys still enjoy it. This was also the time when people were wondering if we were going to be seeing the Valentine's DLC again, because ever since it came out that first year, people want those clothes and those masks and the car again, the Roosevelt. Unfortunately, we didn't see it. Maybe we'll see one next year in 2016. But besides that, nothing much happened. In March, though, this was when Heist finally came out. And whether you still enjoy Heist or not, at the time, this was one of the biggest things to happen in GTA Online. Heists were something that were announced in the trailers before the game even came out, and finally, we got a taste of them. In addition to the heists themselves, they added a bunch of new things: the Hydra, the Hunter, the Insurgent, so many awesome clothing options as well. This was honestly one of the biggest DLCs to happen. And although the one downside to heists was all the connection problems, nobody could ever connect. You would start one of the missions and then everybody would just lag out and it would cancel the mission. And besides that, this DLC was one of the most fun ones that we've seen. Moving into April, this is actually when the PC version came out. In addition, it brought the video editor as well as the director mode, which I'm sure you guys know eventually came out on the PS4 and Xbox One. And because of the PC being released, this was when all the pretty awesome mods were being started or being talked about. And then towards the later part of April, this was one of the most fun challenges I think the GTA Online community came up with, and that was the taxi challenge. If you guys don't remember, you would basically get in a taxi and set a waypoint where your guy would go through the mountains, and it was the funniest thing, because you could battle your friends to see who would get there in one piece, just because the roads were so deadly, I guess you could say. And it was overall just a fun, week or two of that challenge. Moving into May, unfortunately, nothing really happened. I think this was the time when we sort of expected a single-player DLC to come out. Obviously, that didn't happen, though. Now, moving into June, this was when we actually got the Ill-Gotten Gains Part 1 DLC. This DLC is kind of what started the prices in GTA Online to be so high. This one had the $10 million golden plane, the $5 million golden helicopter, the $2 million Osiris, which wasn't that much better than the Entity and the Adder and the Zentorno that were already in the game, for $1 million cheaper. Even though this DLC added some cool things, many people were upset because of those prices. You would have to spend upwards of $3 million if you wanted the Osiris fully upgraded, and many people at the time did not have that much money. Also in June, this was the start of the single player DLC speculation, because Sean Fantino, the guy who plays Franklin, he released a few pictures on his Instagram and Twitter, which caused everybody to speculate what he was talking about. Moving into July, this was an unfortunate down point in my time in GTA Online. This was when I got banned and I got put in the cheaters pool. The most unfortunate thing about it was that it was literally the week before the Ill-Gotten Gains Part 2, and thank God I got unbanned right before that DLC, because that would have sucked if I was banned and I couldn't enjoy all the awesome cars and everything that came with the Part 2 with my friends. But speaking of that part 2, this again was another pretty controversial DLC just because it added the T20. And the T20 by itself is probably one of my favorite cars in the game. It basically negated the Osiris, which came out a month before, and people were really upset that they spent all this money on the Osiris thinking it was going to be one of the best cars in the game to only have the T20 come out a month later, costing even more money, and if they wanted to have the best of the best, they would have to go out and spend it. Moving into August though, because of the controversy behind the prices for all the stuff in the Ill-Gotten Gains DLCs, Rockstar decided to make heists have double payouts, and throughout August and September, each heist during a specific week had double payouts. So I guess in the end you could say that this is sort of Rockstar showing sympathy for the people who didn't have enough money to buy all that stuff, and this is where a lot of people got a lot of money if they did take advantage of that. Also in August, this was when we learned that the editor and the director mode was coming to the PS4 and Xbox One, and I haven't used that too much, but for the people who did enjoy making videos and making stuff in the director mode, this was obviously good news. Now, September was sort of a sad time for the last generation users. This was when the free mode events were released, and this was also when Rockstar made it clear that from this point forward, they weren't going to be releasing DLCs for the Xbox 360 and the PS3. On the flip side, though, the one benefit of that was it allowed Rockstar to add more to the DLCs than just cars, clothes, and guns, because in October, we got the Lowrider DLC, which added a new custom shop with a ton of customization options for these brand new Lowrider cars. In addition, obviously, you got the hydraulics, which was something a lot of people have been asking for. And right after that Lowrider DLC came out, they released the Halloween DLC for a limited time, which introduced some of the coolest face paints and masks I think I've seen in GTA Online, as well as some other limited time vehicles. Hopping into November, this was actually on PC when the 5M drifting servers became really popular. A lot of you guys seem to like the videos I made on that. Now, unfortunately, moving into December, Rockstar or Take-Two decided to ban and decided to go after the developers of 5M, and unfortunately at the time, 5M is no longer a thing. And then last but not least, after all of that happened, we got word of the executives update. And besides heists, I would go ahead and say that this was probably one of the biggest updates that we've seen in GTA Online. It added the yacht, it added the VIP system, a ton of new cars were added, the revolver, which we've been asking for a while. And having this DLC come out, you just got an idea of sort of what Rockstar's capable of when they did drop the last gen support. Now they're adding so many awesome ideas and features that people have been asking for and requesting, since the game came out. And right after the executives came out, there was the festive DLC, and then, the whole Liberty City leaked stuff, but I'm not going to go too much into that. You guys already know all the details on that whole situation. However, that was GTA Online 2015, sort of a year in review. We've had a lot of stuff happen, and overall, I feel like this is definitely one of the better times in GTA Online. Even though the game may be almost 3 years old, things are looking up. And considering how much time and effort it seems Rockstar's putting into GTA Online, I really think that 2016 is going to be even better. So you guys can let me know in the comment section sort of your best and worst moments of the year, because like I said, I'm interested to hear. Hope you guys have a great New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. I don't know if I'll be putting up a Fashion Friday tomorrow. I may save that until Saturday. But thank you guys for watching. See you guys next year. And as always, it's your boy Saintsfan. I'm out. Peace.